Our first law of sines and law of cosines application is this one. Example 1. Home Depot is located 120 miles due west of Lowe's. A new Menards has recently been built. From Home Depot, it is 40 degrees east of north. Lowe's is 30 degrees west of north of Menards. How far is Home Depot and Lowe's from Menards? The first thing we need to find in this problem is S, because we already have the angle for Home Depot and Lowe's, and we need to find the angle at which Menards sits. In order to find angle S, we're going to take 180 degrees, because it is what every triangle is equal to, and then the two angles that we have, we're going to subtract 50 degrees and 60 degrees. And from this, we get 70 degrees is our angle. First, we're going to take the length that we have, which is 120, and do 120 over our sine, which is going to be sine of 70 degrees. This is going to be equal to z, because these angles z over sine of 50 degrees. Now, to get here, and to equal z, so to find z, we take sine of 50 degrees, and we're going to multiply that by 120 over sine 70 degrees. And after that, we'll get 97.8249, and that's our answer for z. X here becomes z because it is the measure of x to Menards. It's this length here of Home Depot to Menards that's represented by x. But because angle 50 is adjacent to side z, it becomes z. Now for the other side, what'll become x but starts off as z, you take 120 again over sine of 70 is equal to x over sine of 60 degrees, because these two are now adjacent. Now from there, you do x equals sine of 60 degrees times 120 over sine of 70 degrees. And from there, x is equal to 110.5926. Our first law of sines and law of cosines application is this one. Example 1. Home Depot is located 120 miles due west of Lowe's. A new Menards has recently been built. From Home Depot, it is 40 degrees east of north. Lowe's is 30 degrees west of north of Menards. How far is Home Depot and Lowe's from Menards? The first thing we need to find in this problem is S, because we already have the angle for Home Depot and Lowe's, and we need to find the angle at which Menards sits. In order to find angle S, we're going to take 180 degrees, because it is what every triangle is equal to, and then the two angles that we have, we're going to subtract 50 degrees and 60 degrees. And from this, we get 70 degrees as our angle. First, we're going to take the length that we have, which is 120. We're going to do 120 over our sine, which is going to be sine of 70 degrees. This is going to be equal to z, because these angles cross. Z over sine of 50 degrees. Now, to get here and to equal z, so to find z, we take sine of 50 degrees and we're going to multiply that by 120 over sine 70 degrees. And after that, we'll get 97.8249, and that's our answer for z. X here becomes z because it is the measure of x to Menards. It's this length here of Home Depot to Menards that's represented by x. But because angle 50 is adjacent to side z, it becomes z. Now for the other side, it'll become x but starts off as z. You take 120 again over sine of 70 is equal to x over sine of 60 degrees, because these two are now adjacent. Now from there, you do x equals sine of 60 degrees times 120 over sine of 70 degrees. And from there, x is equal to 110.5926. Example 2. A piece of land has sides measuring 200 feet, 160 feet, 132 feet, and 234 feet. The angle between the 200 and 160 feet side has a measure of 106 degrees. What is the measure of the angle opposite this angle? So here we have our diagram. So you divide the area in half because it's able to form two separate triangles here. So first we want to solve for y. First thing we want to recognize is this is in fact an SAS triangle because we do have the 200 foot side, the 160 foot side, and the 106 degree angle. Now from here, we can solve for y by doing y squared equals 200 squared plus 160 squared minus 2 times 200 times 160 times cosine 106. From there, you would get y squared is equal to 800. You would get this number, and that's by adding and multiplying this all together, including the cosine 106. From there, you would take the square root of this number that you just got, and you would get y equals 288.5148 feet. This is equal to this in the diagram. We found y. Now to find x, you want to take that number you just found and fill that in for your y squared. And this time, you're going to put 132 squared plus 234 squared minus 2 times 132 times 234. This time you're going to do cosine x because we're solving for x. We don't know what x is. From there, you would take your square root of this number and you would get this number, which is equal to negative 61,776 cosine x. From here, you would take this number from this, and you would get cosine x is equal to negative 0.179. Then what you want to do is, in order to find what your x is and get rid of cosine, you want to take the inverse of cosine, and you'll get x equals 100.3142 feet. Next example says, you and a friend are standing 800 feet apart. When you both spot a furry on the other side of the park. If the angle between you and the furry is 35 degrees and your friend is 27 degrees from the furry, how far away is the furry? So, first, here's our example. Here is you, and here is your friend, and here is the furry. So, first thing you should notice is that because we're trying to find how far away the furry is, we need to know the height in this situation, which is represented by x. And from this, 27 is adjacent to z in this situation. And because there's nothing on this side, 35 becomes adjacent to the x. First, before we find x or z, we need to find y in order to know the height of the whole problem. So what you would need to do first is take 180 again and subtract both angles that we already have, and from this you will get 118. Now you take that 118 and you can use it to find z. So because you and your friend are in fact 800 feet apart, you would take 800 and put it over sine of 118 and z over sine of 27. From here, you would multiply the two together and get this number, which equals z. Now, you would take the number you got for z and use it to find x. You would set it up with sine 35 equaling x over z. And you multiply these two together and get your answer of 235.9354 feet. Now on to our fifth and final example. To measure the length of a pond, you start at one end of the pond, walk 275 feet, then turn 52 degrees, then walk around another 195 feet, the other end of the pond. What is the length of this pond? So, first, we start off with this nice little drawing, and because you're not in the pond and you're like walking around the perimeter of it, 52 is not this angle. But we do know that these are the lengths. The entire length of the pond is still unknown. First, what we need to do is find angle A, and from that we can take 52 from 180, and we're able to get 128. Now you might be able to notice from here we have a side angle side triangle. From there we can do x squared equals 275 squared plus 195 squared minus 2 times 275, 195, and because of it we have that 128, we have the value for cosine. So we're able to reduce this all to this number. Then after we take this square root, we get our x, which is just 925.6929.